Okay, we're back in the Joel K workshop for another super exciting episode on the builds. In this video, I'm going to install the interior door handles, so stay tuned. Okay, so here's the game plan. I want to mount that handle on a panel that attaches to the door itself. That way I can take the door panel on and off without disturbing the handle and all the linkage that goes along with it. So the first step was to install, or at least place, the door panel in place, because you can move it around a little bit. So I use these sheet metal hole clamps to attach it to the door itself. These panels fit really well. I'm very happy with the way RCR trimmed them. The only slight adjustment I'll make is the very top here pulls slightly away from the door, and it does that on both sides. I'll probably add some dual lock around here, and that'll secure it in place. All right, so let's get working on that panel and see how we make out. Okay, here we go. So I mocked up a plate behind here on the door panel, and I got the handle cover inserted. So this looks pretty good, but if you notice here, it's on a tilt. So it's just that the angle of the door is different than the angle of the door panel. But that's all right, we'll make an adjustment. So I'll show you what I mocked up, and we'll figure out how to take it to the next level of fitment. Okay, this actually gives you a good view without the cover on it. So the handle itself needs to be tilted up on this side, and then it needs to be tilted over, see that, over to the left side. So I'll take a look at the bracket. We'll figure out what to do. Okay, here we go. This is the mock-up. So just a piece of plywood with a hole in it to clear the bear claw throw. So here's the thing. You got a mounting hole here, mounting hole here. This one you don't have to use. Then a mounting hole back here. So the handle needs to tilt up more, which I think I want to bend in this crease a little bit. I have to take this out in order to bend it. Then we want to tilt it over a bit. So I think this tab needs to go down a little, this one needs to go down a little bit, and this one needs to go up a little bit to get it like that. So I'm sort of thinking I'll bend that up before I actually make the real bracket, because I want to have this sit perfectly. Then I'll figure out the size of the bracket. I want that bracket attached securely around here, and then we'll drill the holes, but one step at a time. All right, stay tuned. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this aluminum siding bender, and I'm just going to bend this so this sits flat, and then we'll take another look at it. Okay, this is sort of hard to see, but you can see that rear piece is flat and the handle is now flat. The piece that I'm holding is a little tilted up, but that's all right. We'll worry about that at another time. The next thing I'm going to do now is just bend this tab down. Yeah, I could hold the whole thing down with one tab. So I'm going to bend this tab down, and then I'll attach it. We'll see what the orientation is. Okay, I love it when it just works. 15 minutes and we're on to the next step, which doesn't happen too often. So look at that. I bent that side up a smidge. Couldn't tell you how many degrees, but just a tad. And now look, and then I bent it over just a tad, or a smidge, or a tad, smidge tad, something like that. But anyway, that looks good. Now we'll take a look at it on the bracket and figure out the next step. Okay, it's hard to see this with all the clamps in the way, but basically, we bent this down a little bit, and we bent, in there just a little up. Now I didn't even have to mess with these. So What we'll do is I'm going to make a new board with the hole sort of in the right area. I was just rushing to get an opening, and I'll probably make it out of wood one more time, and then I'm either going to use some Garolite or some aluminum. I haven't figured it out, but more than likely I'll make it so that it fills this whole area up instead of just screwing it in top to bottom. I don't know, I'll figure that out. But right now we're going to make it out of wood one more time, and then what I'll do is I'll start to drill the holes so I know where the holes have to go. Okay, here we go. All right, round 2 for mocking up the bracket. This time I added the washer stacks and I bent the other tabs over. So when we talk about a smidge, that's what we're talking about. So anyway, this lines up really well with the door panel. All right, we'll figure out what we're going to do next. Okay, so I did quite a bit of work off camera. I basically finished up the mounting brackets for the handles and also fabricated the aluminum standoffs. You know, I used the washer stack just to get the size. You can see this is the driver door, the driver's side, and this is mounted at a steeper angle than the passenger side. So the doors are not, you know, 100% symmetric, which is not surprising. But anyway, I've got these all done. I'm going to mount them in the doors and then we'll take a look. Okay, I clamped the bracket plate in place, and you can see it's nice and level now. There you go. It fits in there nice. So I'm going to mark the holes and then we'll mount this plate. Okay, a little more work in process. You see I've got the holes drilled. I like using these Cleco clamps or sheet metal hole clamps. And you can see just how level that is. It just worked out pretty good. Oh, it's a lot of twists and turns, but it all worked out. Here we go, we got the plate screwed in. I just tapped the plate and used some M5 screws. If I want to make it a little more secure, I could add some lock nuts behind the plate. But anyway, for now, I think this is good. Okay, now with the door panel in place, once again, sitting nice and flat. Yeah, this was about 20 hours worth of work for both doors. All right, we're gonna put the cover, the handle cover in, and we'll take a final look. All right, well, I can hardly contain myself with excitement here. I've got the cover on. The cover gets installed with a little screw, but this works great. I mean, got a little gap around all the sides. It sits nice and flat. Just beautiful. Very happy with the way this came out. All right, so until next time, as always, thanks for watching and take care.